Hello, everyone. It's Brian here. Welcome back. I hope you had a good Christmas, an excellent Christmas, I hope. I'm going to do my top releases from 2022, the top new records from 2022. I've watched a few of these and I've been surprised at some. For example, Vinyl Richie, I didn't even know most of the top 10. Hub Tunes, on the other hand, I think he had 3 or 4 records that I have in my top 10. Actually, it's 11, really. So, without wasting any more time, I'm going to put the first 2 records as one because they're both from Jack White. And I thought, I like them both. One's maybe a little mellower than the other, and I know that some people prefer one over the other. I would give the slightest of edges to Entering Heaven Alive over Fear of the Dawn, but they're both good, and I couldn't decide really. So I put them both in at number 10. So they're really going to be a top 11. So that's number 10. For number 9 is a band I've enjoyed right from the first time I heard them, really, and that's the Black Keys. This is Dropout Boogie. And, I pretty much like everything they've done. Some a little better than others, but I think this is a pretty good, fun record. Wild Child is the first track I heard, of course, like many people for the video. And this is a pretty solid effort from the band. Number 9. Number 8 is an 80s band who had, I guess, a big comeback, first record in 17 years. Tears for Fears, The Tipping Point. I mentioned this record before because this is a clear vinyl version, which goes for insane prices on Discogs now. Like, the prices are, I don't understand why. And since I did that video in which I mentioned the price, there had been only one sale, but now there's been, I think, 2, and the prices are still high. So I don't know what's going on with that. Very strange. Number 7 is a man whose name is really Joshua Tillman, or Jay Tillman, and he released 8 records as Jay Tillman, I believe. And this is his 5th record under the moniker Father John Misty. He also spent a brief time, I think he appeared on one Fleet Foxes record as a drummer, I think, if I've got that right. This is Chloe in the Next 20th Century. This is on blue vinyl. This is his big band jazz, traditional pop record. So quite a change in sound for me. I was a bit surprised. In fact, I will say the first 2 tracks I heard, I wasn't sure I really liked them at all, and I was a bit struck by them in terms of them being really different, and it took me a long time to decide that I like them. And I do like this record. It's quite a different sound. So I really like everything he's done, but this is a little different. Next is kind of like a sad record in that the guitarist and singer died in February of this year, and this is the Sadies, Colder Streams. I guess this will be the Canadian content for this video. This is really a lockdown record. They recorded it over a 2-year period, I think 2019 to 2021, and it came out in 2022. It's they're from Toronto, so rock, but with country western influences. Now, Dallas Good and his brother, what's his brother's name? I'm going to forget. That's really terrible. Are in here, and they're in the family of there's a band called the Good Brothers, an old Canadian band who had this crazy song called Hot Knife Boogie. They're from that family. So I probably got part of that wrong because I didn't really look it up. But this is on this crazy orange vinyl. So a bit of a tragedy for the band because the singer guitarist is now not with us, and they're playing a show though coming up soon. I think I don't know who's singing, but this is an interesting band, probably underrated. I've seen it mentioned a few times in the VC. Definitely worth checking out. Kind of sad though. What number was that? That was number 6. Number 5 is Beach House. Once, Twice, Melody. This is a band from Baltimore, a duo, dream pop, indie, shoegaze, kind of ethereal. There's 18 tracks here, over 4 chapters, really, I guess you'd call it. And black vinyl, but really interesting band. I pretty much liked everything they've done. Some more than others, of course, but this is a very peaceful record. And so I enjoy listening to that. I would put that at I have a list of number 4. No, that was number 5. Number 4, the band's 14th record, and this is Eels, and this is Extreme Witchcraft, and this is the limited edition deluxe version of Extreme Witchcraft. The band's, I said 14th record, so this is Mark Oliver Everett, who is known as E. I'll show you what's in here because it's kind of interesting. Hype sticker, a CD of the record. The record itself is in the gatefold, and the reason I have this is because when I was looking to buy it, and I haven't had it that long. I've streamed it many times, and finally picked up a copy. And the funny thing is, when I picked it up, the deluxe edition was the same price as the standard 1 LP black vinyl version. So I went with this. I'm not sure why I chose this one, but it seemed kind of cool. So there's 2 records, 45 RPM. And in addition to what we've already seen, it comes with this interesting piece of artwork and a set of stickers. And not only that, it has a Ouija board in it. Not that I believe in crazy things like Ouija boards, but it is in there, which is kind of cool. So that is that's a lenticular piece of art there. So that's all comes in this cool box, which is great. I really like this record. I like pretty much everything I've heard from this band, so I think it's a good record. Now we're in top 3, if I've not lost track. I mentioned Eels are from LA. I don't know if I mentioned that. And here's an Irish band called Fontaines DC, and this is Skinty Fia. My pronunciation may not be correct on that. Irish post-punk. This is their 3rd record. I guess what's notable about this record is it's maybe less aggressive than the first 2, maybe. But very enjoyable. There was a deluxe edition of this one as well on 2 pieces of vinyl. This is the regular single vinyl edition, which I really enjoy. I love the first 2 records too. This is great. Let's see. Another lockdown record, I guess you would call this, and this is The Smile. A light for attracting attention, and you may know that this is Thom Yorke and Jonny Greenwood from Radiohead. And a person I wasn't familiar with, Tom Skinner. I did look him up, but I can't remember where he is from. But this is their lockdown record. I think a bit of a surprise when it came out. And this is, I think it's really good. It's, it reminds me a bit of the experimental Radiohead. And this is on 2 pieces of vinyl, this yellow color. So that's number 2. And if you watched HubTunes, we had the same number 1. We made I think 3 of the top 4 were the same. This is Spoon, Lucifer on the Sofa. I haven't heard Lucifer on the Moon, which is a remix thing that came out. But this is, the band's 10th record after nearly 30 years. And I think they've done some incredible things. And this one is just as vibrant. Maybe their best. This is they're all great, especially the later things. I wasn't a fan of the first one so much, but this one I think is as good as anything they've done. Maybe it's the best thing they've done. And the hardest cut videos, I put it on when the kids were watching, and I didn't realize what was coming up. But I think it's one of their best, and they're still going strong after all this time. I think it's really, really a great record. So there we go. That's under 10 minutes for my top 11 records of the year. Thanks for watching once again. I'm hoping to do one other video contest entry for MGK Boston. We'll see if that gets pulled together. But thanks for watching. Hope everyone has a happy new year. I may be back with a video before the end of the year, or maybe it'll be in the new year. But my next one will be the MGK Boston push to 400 subscribers. So thanks for watching. See you later.